So we just saw how to set up Q property feature, which helps you get all the updates and maintain synchronization between your front end and back end, which only needs the value that is like constantly changing, the getter and setter for that value, and a signal for the changes to show that signal, like to show the signal for those changes, right? So if something changes, we are signaling exchange by change. So that's the simple concept of change signals. I explained you what signals are and everything. So let's move forward. Now I want to have a function to be able to move that rectangle in x dimension on the left or on the right side. So for that, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a function which will be like move left, and which will move to left, and then we're gonna use our setter now it's helping us. See, we can use our setter to set the value of our new position. Setter will take the value, and then it will check if the value is not equal. Of course it will not be equal, because if we hit the move left, we're gonna like include the changed value, right? If we hit something, then the value will be changed, and then this and this will not be same, and then our new value will be kept in the current value, and that will help you move the rectangle, and that changes will be emitted here. So that's very simple, right? That's why we needed this before. So to set x, we'll have what? M x, which is our current position, plus our x speed. So we will have our x speed as well. So our x speed will be added to our mx, giving us the change in movement, changing the position of our rectangle. Let's say our original position of rectangle is on the 50 pixels, somewhere on the from 0 to 50 pixels. It is here, right? The window starts from 0 pixels, it goes up to 50 pixels. So our rectangle is on the right side of the window, somewhere in the middle. If I want to go to left side, I need to minus some pixel, like how I did in the main.qml. I need to go some pixels back, right, to go on the left side. Sorry, I kept the plus x speed, so I'm gonna minus that pixel. Let's say if it's in 50 pixel, if I do minus 10 pixel, then it goes to 40 pixel. Now position for our rectangle is in 40 pixel. So from 50 to 40, it went towards left side, right? That's the basic logic. We have already discussed this logic before. So in main.qml, you can see that to go to the left, we have to just minus that coordinate with 10 pixels, and then we move towards left position. Similar logic has been implemented in our C++ file. Now we're going to replace this later on with that function. So in controller.h header file, I'm just gonna set a new value, which will be the changed value, and I'm also going to change the value for move right, and this gonna set the value of y2. Sorry, it's going to set the value of x, because going on right is also in x dimension. So x will have current position x plus x speed. So what this is doing is like setting a new value by changing the position. Now this function won't be able to be called inside QML, and I'll tell you why. This is a part of C++ function, and if you call that in QML, it will not be called. To change these values, we used Q property, because the QML was not directly able to access these values, and there needs a constant changing between those values, because there always needs to move inside the window. So there is constant change in the values, and we need a proper synchronization to have that quality game experience. So we have used Q property. And to call these functions, we will not be able to call this function directly. So there is a feature given in Qt framework which is invocable. Sorry, invocable, Q invocable, sorry. And Q invocable, what it does is it only means that it is like invocable inside QML. It says like now you can call this function in QML. Later on when we actually try to build this game, you can remove this Q invocable and try to run this function. It will not run. So we used Q invocable. Now this allows us to use this move left function inside our main.qml. So now we can easily move to left. Now we can easily move to right. But before doing that, we need to set some values for x speed. We need to set some value of our current position. Now we have hard-coded this, but this has nothing to do with our class. Class is somewhere different and this is somewhere different. I don't want to hard code this here. I just want to provide the function here and then run this through our class, because our main control is this class, right? So in our constructor, go to your constructor, first change it in header. Where is the constructor? What? Oh, I'll just move this to the top. So our constructor is here. So I'm gonna do something before anything else. Object parent is equal to null ptr. I'm just saying that the QObject parent of this controller is null ptr, nothing. It's a good practice to have this in your constructor, because I don't have a parent for this yet. I'm not talking about the class, but just the argument. I also need QObject parent here. So now our constructor is ready, and what I want to do is I want to start an initializer list. If you know OP, then you must have heard about initializer list in constructor, which helps you initialize those variables directly on the constructor. So whenever the class is called, it's initially initialized with some values. So we have few variables in our I'm just gonna split the screen and show you the header. So we have some variables here. So I need my current position, current y dimension for the rectangle, and speed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write mx for our rectangle will be 50 pixels, and my for our rectangle will be also 50 pixels, let's say. And I want to move, because whatever pixel I move is the speed of my movement, right? That's why it's x speed. So I want to give x speed 10 pixels. So whenever I hit left or right arrow key in my keyboard, it moves by 10 pixels. If I increase the pixel, it will travel more pixels, and it looks like you're traveling more distance, and everything looks like you're moving faster speed. So this is it. I initialize all the variables, and this is how you can move left and right in your QML, but I have yet not implemented this in QML. So in the next tutorial, I'm going to show you how to connect your QML with your C++ class. So I made a different tutorial for that one, because that's a whole different topic, how to connect those